why you're not losing belly fat? It's because you are eating more than you think. And you're like, no, I eat healthy, I wake up, I have my, granola with yogurts, I have my salmon with avocado, and also these kind of healthy meals. But I still can't see the scale go down. That's because you are eating more than you think. It doesn't mean because you're eating healthy that you're also gonna lose weight. You can eat freaking everyday McDonald's and you can still lose weight. And then there's another person who's eating healthy with poke bowls and salmon and granola, yogurt, all these things, but it's gaining weight. You know why? Because if you want to lose fat, or if you want to lose that extra belly fat, then you need to be in a deficit. You need to eat less than you burn. And that's kind of like the mistake that a lot of people make. Or when some clients come to me and like, Kim, please can you help me? I eat healthy, I eat all these, healthy foods, but still I can't lose weight. That's because you're still eating more than you're burning. We are underestimating our calories. Do you know these kind of fancy smoothies, healthy smoothies, or for example these kind of poke bowls? Okay, it can be healthy, and avocado is healthy, salmon is healthy, but it also has calories. And that's the number one rule of losing that belly fat, is eating less than you burn. If you want to know how much you can eat for you as a person, you can always calculate it online. And if you want to have me to help you, you can always send me a message and I will help you figure out how many calories you need to eat to lose fat or that extra belly fat, because it's really important to know how much you can eat. Another thing is these kind of hidden calories. I see that a lot. Yesterday, my client, she sent me a message. It's like, yeah, Kim, I'm, on the limit of my deficit, but I did a great job. She sent me some pictures and I'm like, wait a minute, you didn't put any sauce in the app. Oh shit, yeah, I forgot. Where's the olive oil? Oh shit, she forgot even to put the pasta in it. And that's really why it's so important, because we have these kind of hidden calories, like olive oil, like a sauce. Sometimes here and there some snacks, when you drink some coffee, you go out with your friends, you have a little bit of snack, you're like, it's not a lot. But with these small things, there's an extra 200 or 300 calories that you're consuming extra above your deficit. So you're maybe not even in a deficit. So that's the reason why it's important in the beginning to track your macros. And okay, Kim, I hear this a lot. Do I need to track my macros or my calories for the rest of my life? No, you don't need to track your calories for the rest of your life. But it can give you awareness, so you know how much you are consuming. And then you can see, are you in a deficit or not? Another thing, you are relying too much on exercising. Sometimes my client is like, I went out for a walk or I run a little bit more. Can I earn a little bit more food? Earn. That's the thing. If you track the right macros that's possible for you, that you can consume for your weekly base, then you don't need to earn that extra calories. Because that's the reason why a lot of people gain the weight. Because every time they go out for a walk or they go out for exercising, they're overestimating even how much they really are burning. They think oh my god, my Apple Watch told me I burned 600 calories. I can eat an extra snack with some chocolate or even a healthy snack. But that's the thing, sometimes you're even burning less than what your Apple Watch is telling you. And another thing, why should you earn that food? If you know how much you can consume to lose weight, why should you eat extra? Because relying on exercising is not good. It's good to add to lose fat. But the number one rule is always nutrition. Another thing is that you are not eating enough proteins. Unlike proteins, you just told me you can eat a burger, it's all about being deficit. Why the fuck are you telling me I need to eat a lot of proteins? Well, listen up. Because of course you can eat a burger. Of course you can eat a cake and still lose weight. I was even eating everyday chocolate and I lost weight. But that's the thing. You need to eat a lot of proteins because it can give you a more full feeling. You don't have a feeling that you need to eat something else after 30 minutes or after 1 hour, because your hunger hormones are kind of like activating after 1 hour. You feel like you're hungry again after a small snack. You can have a snack, for example, that's yogurt with fruits, with, like other stuff like granola and all these things. That's a smaller amount, but with a lot of fruits and with, the yogurt, it's really good. But you can also have like a cookie. It's the same amount of calories, but you will feel so much fuller longer with the yogurt bowl than the cookie. So that's really why it's so important to have enough proteins. And also it will increase your muscle mass. The same thing, and it's also really important, is to do strength training. Like, what? Strength training, I don't want to look bulky, I just want to lose fat, then I just need to, run more, I need to do more cardio. Well, yes and no. Of course you need to burn more to lose fat. But also strength training is so important, not to have that beautiful figure, but it's really important to also increase that muscle mass, because you can burn more when you rest. I'm, for example, now burning more calories than someone who is only doing cardio, because having more muscle mass, so eating enough protein and having enough muscle mass will increase your metabolism. So that means if you sleep the whole day, you will burn even more than the person who's just walking on the treadmill freaking every day. And the treadmill person is thinking, oh my god, I burn a lot of calories. Yes and no, but the one who's doing strength training and then also a little bit of cardio, that person will have more benefits long term. So try to hit at least 3 times a week strength training, and from there you have a good base and you can increase your muscle mass and you will burn more calories. Another thing, you are drinking your calories. And that's what I told you before, when you go on the street and you walk and you see this kind of like healthy smoothies, or you just want to have a latte macchiato. You know that even in oat milk there's 68 calories for 100 milliliter, and most of the time they put like 200 milliliter, so you're even drinking 140 calories extra just with your coffee. And then if you have like another fruit smoothie, all these things, they're like, it's healthy. But the same thing, if you drink less or eat less, then you burn, then you're gonna lose fat. Because a healthy smoothie doesn't mean that it also has 0 calories. It has calories, and sometimes there's even sugar in it. So be careful if you drink something, because drinking alcohol, drinking something like latte macchiatos every day causes more fat, or is one of the reasons why you're not losing fat. And I don't want to tell you that you never can have like a latte macchiato. I love my cappuccino. Then I'm trying to take something like sugar-free almond milk, or I'm trying to drink something else like a Cola Zero. Has 0 calories, of course, Cola Zero. Another thing, you are not sleeping enough. You're like, wait, it's all about calories, moving more. Why the fuck should I sleep more? Because if you don't sleep enough, you will have more cravings. Or the same thing with stress. You will have more that feeling that you're gonna eat more because of like emotional eating. And also if you have a higher cortisol level because of a lot of stress, less sleep, you will have this kind of like, this kind of cortisol like belly, lower belly fat. And I don't want to tell you like, hey, if you eat, of course, you have this kind of like lower belly. Of course, we eat, we drink. It's normal that our stomach is gonna look fuller during the day. But there is a difference between like the cortisol belly. The flat stomach, well, the lower stomach will have more of that kind of fat around this area because you have more stress, and that causes that lower belly fat. So that's really why it's really important also to sleep enough to control your stress. You will not have a higher cortisol level, and at that way you don't have a lot of cravings and you will not eat more emotional. Another thing, you are not patient enough. I hear this all the time. Someone was just in my program for 6 days. She went even out. She had some alcohol in the weekend, some, like tequila. And she told me after 6 days, I only lost 100 grams. Why? Because it takes time. Sometimes it takes even like 7 to 9 weeks to see results. And that's the reason why a lot of people give up, think that it doesn't work. Or some people, they're just sending me after a couple of days like, oh my God, I see the scale going up. Like, what's the reason why? Because it takes time. And nobody, I was even helping people who are into prep. And if you don't know what prep is, or bodybuilding competition, that's people who need to follow the schedule 100%. They need to follow the diet and the training in a kind of like a more of an extreme. They're really gonna lean down in a lower body fat stage, but that's the thing. They following everything, and even with them, the scale never goes down every week. So why are you expecting that the scale goes down every week? It's normal. Be patient. The scale will go down after a while. If you keep doing the work, if you're eating in deficits, if you're walking more, if you're doing your exercising, then the scale will go down. But have patience. And I know it's really hard. I'm also like I'm the last person in the world who has the most patience. But that's the thing. You will feel so much better after a couple of weeks that you're like, damn, I'm so happy that I did it and that I waited, because now I see the results. Another thing is you are not tracking your progress correctly. Some of them, they're just like looking at the scale. But that's the thing, there are so many factors why the scale can go up. If you eat more carbs in the evening, you will keep more water weight, so the scale will go up. Or if you have a lot of stress, the scale will go up. If you have your period, if you have, for example, like a late evening and you are even eating less, but you are eating till 2 a.m. in the morning, of course. If you don't have a good night of rest, then of course the scale will go up. There are so many factors why the scale can go up. And I see a lot of people, they're so focused on on the scale, the number. What's the freaking number on the scale? But that's the reason why it's important to see like, okay, are my clothes getting looser? Or how do I feel? Do I feel that I have more energy? Do I feel stronger? Do I feel happier because you're less bloated? Don't look at the scale only, but look at also other stuff. I really love the pictures because you can see the difference after a couple of weeks. So take pictures. If you want to lose fat, that's so important to measure it in another way. So have patience and try to track your progress also in another way. So here are some tips. I hope this is really going to help you. If you have some questions, you can always send me a DM on Instagram, or you can just leave a comment down below. And of course, if you would like to see more videos like this, just hit the follow button, and I will see you guys next time.